Hi everyone, welcome to my reading. This is a reading about how to let go of fear. Fear, as we all know, is a really devastating, paralyzing energy, a really toxic energy, and it stops us from taking action. And before I begin, I'll just like to say um, that when we let go of fear, it's because we're willing to face our fears. And I'm doing this reading specifically because I also am going through this. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm going through a fear in this moment of my life for particular circumstances, and I want to be courageous, and I want to help those of you who want to know how to get rid of it. A few days ago, maybe because of the astrology, I don't know, I was feeling like a bout of anxiety. And I said to myself, I don't want to go through that again. I've been through that before. I don't want to. So I started praying. And I've been told many times to go ahead and start on YouTube, even though it's something that feels so big. Some of the people I follow and have followed for years started out just like this. Anyway, what I want to advise you regarding fear is gather yourself and go forward and face that which you are afraid of because you have nothing to lose. If you go and soothe and comfort yourself, wrap yourself in a blanket, lie down, and hope it will all go away, I would know you can stay in that state for months, sometimes even longer. If you stand up and say, I'm gonna try anyway, come what may, and take a step forward in faith, then usually you will see how strong you are, and sooner or later you will find better circumstances, solutions, and other things that will help you. Resourcefulness is the first card. It's the horned cactus. Caterpillar, opportunity. Oh, this is very interesting. And I didn't know what these were before I started. Dust devil, moving out of stagnation. So the meanings speak for themselves. Resourcefulness. Caterpillar. Well, it's written caterpillar, like that. Weird. Interesting. I should say, like, please don't think I'm making fun of it. I just have a weird sense of humor. I use the word weird too much. I'm sorry. And dust devil, moving out of stagnation. This is exactly what I just told you about, and I swear I had no clue what these cards were going to be. Okay, so let's start with horned cactus. Resourcefulness. We all know that cactuses grow in extreme circumstances, in deserts, and they survive without water for very long periods of time, and they only need minimal water to stay alive, which makes a cactus a very interesting plant. So when you want something, or when you decide that you're going to take your life in a certain path, or when you want to claim a certain state of being, or when you want to manifest something in your life, whatever it is, whether it's health, whether it's better relationships, whether it's a better financial situation, a sense of community, freedom, moving away to another country, or just finding peace, finding your place in the world, finding meaning in life, whatever it is that you want to find, that you dream of. It doesn't have to be anything of what I said. It could be another dream that you have. Um, Needless to say, resourcefulness is something that will help you. But how to find resourcefulness? Sometimes you have to start without knowing what's ahead, without anything else other than self-belief. And from that moment that you decide that you're going to move forward, when you make the decision, you will keep taking steps forward towards your goals, towards your dreams, towards your freedom, without knowing how you're gonna get there, without having a lot to begin that you start out with. And maybe you'll have nothing at the beginning or feel like you're just faking it at the beginning. But through the journey, step by step, day by day, you will acquire the forces that you need. Sip of water because I'm nervous and I need water to speak. Okay, so what I mean is you will build resourcefulness as you move forward. Trust me. I was really afraid of public speaking in college, and to get my degree, I had to begin somewhere. And I had to do a speech for 30 minutes one day, and that was the first time I ever spoke in front of a class for 30 minutes. And I read my whole entire presentation, PowerPoint presentation, and I thought I would fail that class, and I thought I would be in academic hardship. And guess what? I got a 96. The professor valued my work and was gracious and generous, and I got better with every other semester that I did presentations, to the point where it became almost enjoyable, even though it was so out of my comfort zone when I began. I thought I was going to die. It was such a burden to me to learn how to do public speaking presentations. But I learned, after doing it the first time, I learned that I could do them, and I started to have creative fun with them. So I built a skill that I didn't have, and I graduated after, I had to take more of those classes. I had to do 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, year after year of public presentations. And I felt like, now I feel like I can do it. And I don't judge myself, and don't think it's the end of the world. I was really afraid. I was one of those people who was really afraid. I have a skill now that I had to face, and it was not easy. I couldn't sleep the whole entire semester because my presentation was one of the last ones. You build skills when you move along the road, when you take the decision, you make the decision, and you move along the path and you continue. Then you will build the skill that you need, and you will get like a bag. Imagine you're carrying a bag. Imagine you're the fool in the tarot, and you're starting out on your road. Do you think he has a lot of skills, a lot of resourcefulness? No, he builds it as he meets the major arcana figures and all of the minor ones. After his journey, he becomes probably wise. That's what you need to do. You need to move forward in life, and you need to get out of bed if you're in bed. Stop being afraid if you're afraid. And here's my biggest advice. Do it anyway. Even if you're trembling, even if you're blushing, red, tomato red, go. Even if you have like the biggest crippling anxiety, social anxiety, do it anyway. Even if you're dealing with a chronic problem, health issue, do it anyway. I've had to do those things that I'm speaking to you about in my life, all of them. And guess what? I got stronger. Nothing happened to me. I learned that I could survive with chronic conditions, with problems, and that I'm strong enough. And from that you learn strength, which is a big lesson in my life that I'm dealing with at this period. You learn strength. You need to get you learn to get up again, to try again. That is resourcefulness. And when you do these things daily or as often as you can, then they become like a habit, like a muscle that you exercise. And even if I don't see myself as a very strong person, but I often get told by other people that I am. And I always feel like, no, you don't know what's inside of me. You have no idea how much I tremble how much I fear things, how difficult it is for me. I feel it's so difficult for me, probably more than other people. Other people may start out in life with other challenges and problems, but they're not that scared to speak in front of people. They're not that scared to be seen. They're not that scared to get on YouTube and post a video and delete their video again and again and again, start the channel, even though their spirit guides told them to do it anyway. But here I am trying. This is like the fifth, sixth, seventh, I don't even know. I lost count of how many times I've tried. Even though I got full encouragement. Anyway, enough of that. You get the point, guys. Even if you don't think you're resourceful, sorry. I have a really, sorry about my speech. It will get better as I move along, I hope. Even if you don't think that you are built for something, do it anyway. And you will see how you will flourish. And you see how the cactus, not all cactuses have the needles, and you will grow those. And you will become a person who has the wisdom to survive in unfavorable circumstances. Because of your courage, the universe will reward you. Good. Now, caterpillar, opportunity. Here's another wonderful lesson, and I can attest to this from personal experience throughout my life, my entire life. Once you decide on step one, which is do it anyway, despite fear, despite opposition, despite whatever, and you decide to rely on yourself and have courage and let the universe guide you and, go on step by step. I'm not saying be reckless. I'm saying have courage, take heart, believe in yourself, do it anyway, expand, don't stay in the same place, don't wrap yourself under the covers for months thinking that you need to rest, that you're sick or something like that. That's what I did. And I wasted time. But one day I got up, I moved really quickly, and I began to believe in myself, and life went better that way. Anyway, once you do that, guess what? The opportunities, the rewards will eventually show up for you. And they will be many times better than what you had ever expected. And then you will begin to be given, opportunities to build your dreams. And then you will have to exercise wisdom. You will have to have discernment. You will have to know and choose. Some things will go well, some won't, just like anything else in life, but you will be so much better off than when you started out in a state of fear. You will actually be moving forward, and there will be times of fear and pain and chronic issues, challenges, surprises, big and small, of all kinds that exist in life. But there will also be wonderful events that will surprise you, that will even shock you, and that will give you that which you have been looking for, and so much more. And you will begin to see the most beautiful parts of life are those which we never plan, we don't imagine, because it's so much better than we could imagine. And that's what's beautiful about life, what we don't know. And when we encounter something more beautiful than we could ever possibly have dreamt of, okay? And finally, and that's when you get into the world aspect. That's when you get into the I'm living my life. And that's where you need to exercise other skills that you also built through living. Just that's the only way to learn in life, is through action. Not that there is no room for reflection. I'm a big fan and practitioner of deep self-reflection and reflection, but you cannot live your life in constant examination of the past, in constant self-reflection, and like isolated from the world, writing in your journal the whole day. That's not living. Like, you cannot stay in the 12th house, if you know what I'm saying, and expect to advance through. You cannot live your life in the 12th house. I'm a 12th house person, very strong 12th house energy, and I have a kind of like a challenge to be more in the world. And yeah, moving out of stagnation is the next card, Dust Devil. Interesting. This is a very interesting card, and I'm going to look up the meaning because I actually have not studied the book. And I thought it would be okay if I just learned it together with you because, like, who's gonna watch this video anyway, right? Dust Devil. I mean, the deck. I have to read the book, but it's so much more fun if you like go like this instead of like sit down and read the whole thing. Everybody has their own way. Anyway, embrace the chaos. The chaos. Embrace the chaos. Trust in the process. Moving out of stagnation. The presence of the Dust Devil causes a ruckus. Some people are afraid of his chaotic nature, believing that he comes to intentionally stir things up. The truth is, you can't expect this dream ally to behave, to bring niceness, to be clean. His power is in the mess he creates as he calls for you to engage in the full cyclone of life. He represents two aspects to you now: the winds in your outer life appearing to throw you off course, where you assume the world is coming at or happening to you, and the winds that churn inside you, with the Dust Devil arising from your dreamscape to help you escape your invisible chains, shackling you to a barren desert. Stop asking for things to be perfect. Awkward, messy, conflicted, exuberant, and wild is how you shift. Trust this process. The Dust Devil knows what you need when you need it. When things settle, you will see the gleaming jewels awaiting your discovery, the wisdom awaiting integration. How very interesting, how very interesting. Okay. So this is what I was talking about the nice side of life when you get your wishes, your manifestation, and then again, you get disruption. It's like a cycle. So be prepared as you move and get up and you go on your journey, that things play out in this kind of way. You build skills. You start from nothing, maybe. You start and you go forward despite your fears. You get rewarded. You get into incredible blessings. But then problems will arise to test you further. This is the nature of human life, okay? I'm going to put the cards here so you can see them. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have done this earlier. So what can I say about this one? I can't believe how relevant they are to me as well. Like, I hope this helps someone because I wasn't doing this for me, but it's helping me too. Life for me personally is messy right now, and I know that it is messy for you as well, which is why I wanted to do this reading, because they told me, my spirit guide told me, or they found a way for me to learn this, to acknowledge this wisdom, which is when you help other people, you get blessings in return. And actually, one of the people I most respect who started out on YouTube was saying something very similar. She said, what is it that she was saying? Yeah, you may become really good at manifestation, for example, or your intuitive gifts, psychic gifts. You may learn a lot, become very wise, knowledgeable, rich even, and have all these blessings. But ultimately, at one point, you have to give back from your knowledge. You have to help other people along the way. And that's what I'm trying to do here in this channel, in this reading. And with the Dust Devil card, sorry, back to your reading, I feel like sometimes we're in incredibly tough positions and situations, and we think that we are the only people in the entire world who have this certain event or catastrophe, this tragedy, this impossible situation, this incredible test of life. And if you remember what I was reading from the Oracle explanation book, the white book, or as they call these things, it was saying how it's supposed to be messy. And when we get to that point in our journeys when it appears very unfair, when life appears to be more unfair for us than for other people, and we are in unexpectedly difficult situations, it's those moments when we say, I never thought that this would happen to me. And we get into periods of our life where we may have all sorts of very difficult, challenging, dark, depressing circumstances around us, or just incredibly painful things to go through. And I've been through quite a lot of them myself. And sometimes I just, especially during this period of my life, I just feel like, when will I see the light? And it's like, through those circumstances that appear the most incredibly harrowing and demanding and exhausting, is where you're getting your deepest spiritual lessons. And they will eventually be, if you rise up to the challenge, you will eventually be rewarded for your courage and your good deeds. And I know that may sound a little bit like Pollyannish, or like I'm preaching. But as painful as some days are, as frightened as you may be, as unpredictable as life can be, the mess is an opportunity as well. And it moves you out of stagnation if you let it, because like the underlying message is moving out of stagnation. What the message for you here is very clear. You have to find resourcefulness by starting out. No matter where you are at, just start out. So you will find opportunities, and even if you encounter difficulties along the way, through the way, it doesn't have to happen in the order that I explained. Life doesn't have to play out this way. Like, you could go through long periods of like trying to build your skills just by moving forward. And as you may get a mix and a combination as a result of your trying, of difficulties and opportunities. And the idea is for you as a human being to develop the maturity, yes, and also the strength, the humans, your spirit, as a whole, your strength, your endurance, your wisdom, your knowledge, your patience, all of those things. You have to mature those things here in the physical world. How do you do that? It's through taking action and dealing with both the good opportunities and the difficulties, and using your inner strength and your self-belief to move forward and to have courage despite the apparent circumstances. No matter how difficult you may think your situation is, I promise you there's always someone going through something much worse. And nowadays we just buy into whatever people post on their social media and their photos, and you don't need to be too wise to know that a lot of what people post online is fake. I've seen people who post the complete opposite of what is actually happening to them. I know of one particular case where someone posted about having a perfect family life, when I know that from confidence that the complete opposite was going on. And even the most disturbing things, what worried this person the most was terrible family situation, yet there will be all these perfectly curated pictures of how wonderful it all was. Why people do that on the internet is probably a coping mechanism. So never think that just because you're seeing people having a wonderful time somewhere, that they're actually happy, or that it's actually true, or that it's not just one moment that they chose to put online just to kind of make themselves feel good. because it feels good, like, look, I'm here and I'm doing this, my life is great. It's a way of lying to themselves more than to other people, but other people see it, they compare, and they think that they're the ones who are stuck. But count your blessings, because maybe you're not as stuck as you think, and you may even have an advantage. Sorry about that. Okay, now I'm gonna pull out some tarot cards. It's like, what would this be without it? And I'm gonna ask you to choose a number. We're gonna do this really quickly because we just are. Time constraints and all that, guys. Choose a number between 1 and 3, and I'll do a quick spread for all of you, like for your number. So choose 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can even get inspiration from the card that you like the most here. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle. We're gonna do this quickly. Okay, group number 1, just start here. What do you need to hear right now? Okay, Queen of Pentacles. For you, it's about money and stability, or maybe growing anything material, the material plane. You may be an earth sign, so you know, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Okay, the world. You may be actually about to enter one of the best moments if you keep going along this road. If you go and give up on your fears, like let your fears go. But the original reading is how to let go of fear. Envision yourself as winning is what I'm hearing. Take action. Okay, in order for you to get to where you're going, you may be getting married soon, is something I heard. Okay. Okay. You're debating whether to take action or stay where you are. You should probably take action. Because, you know, if you've been resting too long, if you've been staying in a back and forth for too long, it may be time for, it may be time for action. It's like you're not sure. You want the world, you want beauty, you want happiness. You want your wishes fulfilled. But in order for you to get them, you have to take action. Indecision and going back and forth for too long. Don't gossip or reveal your plans or your thoughts or too much of your personal information to friends. Some of them are not trustworthy. Keep your secrets. Be very prudent and silent about those things that you are working towards until they're fully solid in your hands, because I see some people around you don't have your best interest at heart. Okay, so be careful about what you're speaking. Be careful about what you say about your life and to whom you say those things. It's very important because that's draining your energy. You will move towards your goal when you have the courage to nurture your own emotions in a healthy way. And then you will know exactly how to move forward, because it will appear for you. Whether it's a business opportunity or a relationship, a move that you want to see in your life, growth. I keep hearing like a lot of families. Some of you just want to build a family, find the one. Stop being in toxic groups of people. Stop speaking ill upon yourself. Stop being an enemy by letting secret enemies have information about you. Keep your plans quiet. Be very prudent when you are speaking, is something that I'm getting very clearly for many of you. So if you are pile 1, you need to learn the power of the spoken word. Life and death comes to the power of the tongue. Um, it's a saying, as you know, you guys have heard it probably. When we trust a friend and we give them too much information about our life, we are letting them have access to us, to our lives. It's a mistake to do that. If you are not completely 100% sure that this person's interests are in full alignment with you, or they might just not understand your spirituality, for example, they might not really know too much about you. You may be a Scorpio, some of you, or have a specific placement in Scorpio that's very powerful. And sometimes we mistake friendships for people we can trust. You cannot trust everyone. And it doesn't mean that you cannot be friendly or socialize, but you should be calm, quiet, discreet about the things that you care the most about. And you should only speak positively about yourself and your plans. Okay, so that's pile one. Okay. Be very careful about spreading your energy in the proper way, but also know that eventually, like, a message will be brought to you if you just keep going that way, like the way of courage, which is like how to let go of your fear. For many of you, I found that in the reading, it showed me that it's because you give too much energy away without realizing it. And people influence you sometimes in ways that are detrimental to your well-being. Anyway, that was group number 1. This is group number 2. Why won't this sage stay lit? That's what I have for you. Remember, the most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself. So if you are good to yourself, if you speak positively upon yourself, if you treasure yourself and take good care of your energy and your speech and speak blessings upon yourself, you will be helping yourself out a lot. Don't speak negatively about yourself. Don't engage in gossip that doesn't matter to you. Don't engage in any sort of gossip if you can help it. I know sometimes it's really hard not to, but gossip is just ruining things for some of you. Like getting even with famous people, don't click on those videos. Stay away from other people's lives, so like drama. Friends that you might wanna be okay with. Sorry, friends that you may enjoy just hanging out with, but don't reveal too much to them. Don't show them too much, okay? Okay, group number 2. Here we have the Knight of Wands. How to eliminate your fear. So you might be a fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo. Oh my gosh. You got the 3 of Pentacles too. Group number 1 got it. The Magician. Some of you are manifesting love also. You got 2 major arcana, very interesting, okay? I feel like you guys are in a more clear situation than pile number 1. So for you, it's more about building upon something that you already have constructed, and you may have definite plans and ideas and inspirations at this moment about something specific that you want to accomplish. And for you, I feel that you're further along the way. You're more like in the middle of it rather than starting out for some reason. I think you're right in the middle of things. So you may or may already be in a relationship, or you may have a very a connection. You may be married even, or you just may be very much into only one energy, one person. Perhaps you're not, perhaps you're dating around, but you have an idea of what you want in your life. I feel like some of you are very mature people as well, like very centered, and you know how to make the laws of the universe work for you a little bit better. Like you have experience already in this kind of thing. Some of you may even be very much into this type of practice, you know, alternative spiritual practices. And so I almost feel like asking you, like, what are you afraid of? Like, I don't see any actual fear here. Oh, okay. Self-judgment, mind traps, lying to yourself, having someone determine circumstances for you. Actually, some of you, gosh, as soon as I said that, you got some of the most frightened cards. Um, Sleepless nights, self-doubt, regrets. Okay. Okay, some of you may have broken up with someone or maybe grieving over a past connection, whether it's a love connection that you lost or a friendship, but it could also be like getting fired from a job, an injustice. They're telling me that you have complete power to restore your inner strength. But some of you do feel trapped, even though that is not your true nature. And even though you have higher knowledge and very strong intuition, very good knowledge of esoteric topics and things like that, and you know yourself better than a lot of people, you know about spiritual topics more, you still are feeling trapped and sorrowful. There's something heavy in your life that keeps you having like maybe difficult thoughts at night, perhaps not necessarily, but it could be rumination, self-judgment, or just a situation that keeps you stuck. And that is what you're afraid of, sorry. That is what the fear is. It's like, can I escape this? So what are some words of encouragement? You're going to come out of this. You're going to heal from this. You're learning how to do that right now, actually. You may be a little bit down, a little bit sad, and may not see the opportunity right now. For you, it's more about healing yourself through faith, believing in yourself, looking upwards to the divine, to a connection, an inner connection, working on your inner self, working on your knowledge of self, but in a spiritual sense, because I have the Hierophant, Strength card, and the High Priestess. Your strength, your way to not be afraid is to find a connection to the part of you that is divine. Whatever spiritual path you are upon, it will heal you if you have faith in that. Whatever gives you faith and strength, spiritually speaking, whatever gives you a sense of connection to life, to the universe, to nature, to earth, to human beings, to your purpose for being here, strengthen that spiritual connection, strengthen your spiritual knowledge, have faith that it is real. If you pray. If you do manifestations, keep doing those. I feel like you're a very evolved type of, well, evolved maybe is kind of like saying, not that the others are not necessarily, but you're aware of your sensitivity and your power. I do feel like changes are coming for you, but you need to be gentle with yourself as a way to stop being frightened. What might keep you frightened, in your case, I would say, is it could be that you do too much and that you are too hard on yourself, and that you actually are frantic sometimes in doing things, and you give up too easily without waiting enough, without having enough, you know, you're like, you may have already tried a certain way and it didn't work out, so you might have given up for a while. What you need the most, I feel deeply, is patience and to go within. You need more silence, more peace, and to take deep breaths. You are doing okay. You're actually already on the way. This is what I got from the cards. Thank you, group number 2. Really, for you, it's more about an internal strife rather than outside things. It's about something that's going on deep in your psyche, and the way to find a way out of your fear is through strengthening your connection to your deep belief system, and to value yourself for what you are as a soul, and to not give up, but to have patience. They're saying contemplate the High Priestess card and go into your own power. You don't need external validation, and you kind of already know that, but you need deep inner time, a deep connection to yourself, to your higher calling, your higher nature, and through spiritual practices like meditation, prayer, belief, quiet moments, journaling, reflection, etc. You know, you need to take it more slowly. Perhaps you're going too fast, and if you just give yourself some time, things will work out better for you. And that's what I have for you, group number 2. Thank you. Now I have group number 3. Thank you for waiting. Or well, actually, you probably clicked on the timestamps. You're my last group. So what is the way for you to let go of fear? Last but not least, my group number 3s. What's keeping you afraid? How to let go of that fear? Besides the general advice, because the general advice I feel could work for anybody, really. But I chose to do the pick a cards because of specific messages that might come through. I usually have strength for 2 piles. But I got better and now I have strength for 3. So I was working on something myself, and now I'm giving back through the readings. Like I said, I don't know if you heard of that part already. Sorry about my speech. I speak in a really weird way these days, but I can do better and get better. I hope you can still understand me. Wow. 6 of coins. Okay, reciprocity, guys. Give and take, balance in an everyday life. Queen of Cups. All right, I feel like you might be too emotional sometimes. Like you can't, you might be one of the most afraid groups. even though the cards are not ones that show a lot of frightening, it may be like a storm in life for you right now. Perhaps not a lot of people know this about you, about what you're going through. You're looking out into your future, and you're very much afraid, I feel. What are you afraid about? You want things to be more neat, more lined up in a row. Please look at the card. Sorry, I'll try to zoom. I don't know if that will ruin everything. No, that I don't think I can do that, so I will. You want things to be neat and clean, to make sense, to be lined up correctly for you. This is a deep emotional need. I feel like you're a very sensitive person. This is a really beautiful card. Very beautiful feeling that I'm getting from your energy, from this energy. You really hope. You really hope, but you don't believe. I almost feel like more emotional, more sad with this group. You don't believe. It's not, this energy is different from the other ones. You're feeling sad. So how can you let go of fear? You may feel inferior to other people, not realizing where your worth is. This is what I'm getting from this. Strength. Okay, for you, what I am getting is you don't really see yourself as you are. You don't know your truest potential. You believe you're so much less than you actually are. You are maybe a very shy person or an anxious person, and you feel weak, you feel weaker, you feel like you don't have strength, you feel like you're maybe not beautiful enough, not strong enough, not rich enough. And like when you look at things that you want, or when you look at the things that you want to have in your reality, you say to yourself, well, but that's not for people like me. For some reason, you have a pattern perhaps of self-defeat, like you sabotage yourself because you have wrong assumptions about yourself. You have an image of yourself that's based on past hurt. And if you could only see yourself as you really are in your spiritual nature, you would feel lighter. I got the Sun card for you. For you, it's different than the other groups. You're actually a great source of light and strength and hope for other people when you are at your truest, purest self. You're like somebody who brings joy, laughter, and charms others easily when you are able to be your true self. But you are I feel like you're very distant from your true self right now. For some reason that's keeping you sad. And every single group got the 3 of coins or the 3 of pentacles. I'm going to take it as like you're being affected also by external circumstances such as social media, the news, the events that are going on, or people around you, or judgments that have been placed upon you, influences that have led you to have a wrong idea about who you are. But let me tell you what I'm seeing from these cards is that you are actually like a sun of light. Okay, when it comes to spreading light to other people, you're like a sun. You're like the sun. You know, you have that glow, that energy, that charm, that beauty. And you're like a majestic creature, but well, whether you want to believe that or not, you have to remove from your eyes incorrect ideas about you that have been placed there by externals, whether it was other people, traumatic events, whether it's the influence of social media culture or the news or people even near to you or whatever. Be strong and know that you are not the lies that you have been told are the truth. There's a lot of like sadness that I get from this card at the beginning because you want to be something that you're not, because other people might have influenced you to want to be something that you're not, or because you cannot really see who you are, and so you see yourself as being less than, poorer, you know, like poorer, but not in a material sense, but in a gift sense. Like you have strength and charm and light like very few people. You don't even know who you are. You don't know your true beauty, and that's what's keeping you afraid. Is what's keeping you afraid, according to this reading, according to what I'm seeing, is you don't know because you have believed the lies and you have developed maybe a self-concept that is not true, and you need to learn how to see the beauty inside of you, but it's really difficult for you. So what I would say for you is, don't believe other people. Go deep inside yourself. Journal, think about it, and try to find those things that have always made you happy, and try to remember objectively how you have made other people feel happy. Reflect upon your own best qualities. I feel like you have a good grasp of morality, of goodness, of kindness, and you will blossom like a flower in time, is what I'm feeling, is what I'm getting for you. So, a more practical advice, I feel like you need an extra card, because I feel like the saddest one, the saddest feel, I connected in empath, like an empath does usually, to this energy, and I just felt really sad, like crying at the beginning. Me talks, repairing the body, mind, spirit. Reach out to your angels, your spirit guides. Ask God or whatever it is that you call divine, or the higher self, the great spirit. I don't have the word that you use, but you have the word, the highest source. Ask sincerely to be helped, to remove those blockages and those wrong beliefs from your eyes, so that you can begin to work with your inner essence. I feel you will do really, really well in time. It may actually take a little bit of time, because I'm feeling like some of you might be somewhat lost, but you will begin to go forward if you just take action. Connect to yourself first. Learn to fall in love with yourself. Learn about yourself is what I'm getting for you as an advice that I'm channeling just in this moment. You need to reconnect to who you are, to get to know yourself again. If you know you are distanced from yourself, it's like you need to get together with yourself, take a coffee with yourself, be your own best friend, like truly, truly, truly reconnect, get to know yourself again, because you exist deep down there and you are so beautiful. This is what I am seeing and getting. You're such a beautiful soul. You have no idea. please make it a daily practice to get to know what you like, what's true for you. And don't let other people bully you or convince you of their agendas or beliefs, but have faith that you can get to know yourself really well. I know that sounds very vague, perhaps, to some people who want details about this or that, but this is what I feel is like the spiritual reason for the reading. This is more of a spiritual reading. There are lots of other readers out there who can do more like what's coming in love, what's coming in money. My readings are about soul topics, are about personal growth, are about wisdom. And I feel like those readings are harder to find on these platform and other platforms, and I want to do that specific sort of content. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it helped you in some way. Please leave your comments below. Let me know if it resonated with you. If you have stories that validate what I read and channeled, if you feel like it was accurate for you, and if it wasn't, or you have some positive, respectful feedback, I'm also interested in that. Again, I apologize for the way that I speak. Please know that it's got to do something, it's got to do with a health issue that I'm overcoming, that has happened to me as a result of stress and stuff. So if you could be patient with me about that, I would really appreciate it, instead of leaving me comments that just to put me down. Just mention things that could help me, and let me know if you would have a request. Remember, if you can make it, the sort of content that I want is more spiritual. So, but any request, you know, even if it is something about love or something, I'm open to any requests. So please, if you like this, please give it a like. If you have comments or questions, I'll read them and I'll answer. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for engaging with my video. Until next time.